silly fool. You could not be the chosen one. Enough. I shall slumber until I am awakened again.
What was that about? go. Oh, there's a. I found it. In any case, have a look. There. Now.
You're no hero. You're hero. You banished it, pain. I'm thank here. I'm
Oh, well, I did you wrong, but these, you know what I mean. You and me. Oh, brilliant. But I did you. These.
What is happening, guys? Cowboy here. Welcome back to the walkthrough, and it's a pretty badass weapon. So a divine weapon could help out here, but honestly, if you just wait for Nito. What is happening, guys? Cowboy here. Welcome back to the walkthrough, and it is time for the DLC. So from here, warp to the Sunlight Altar. Once again, this is the bonfire near where the dragon was. We got to be making our way all the way back down to where we freed Dusk. So one of the fastest ways to get over there is going to be this bonfire near the Undead Parish. Run, we'll go down the tower, and then we're right there. Alternatively, you could just run through Undead Berg. That'll also get you there pretty fast, but ain't nobody got time for that. We can warp. Black boar. Shit. Y'all thought I missed that lizard. See, I was just waiting until now to kill him so that I could get a chunk out of it. Playing some motherfucking 4D chest. Y'all talking about missing loots. I missed nothing. Nothing, I say. Swoop. Go. Good old rusted iron ring since we're going to be running through the water. Oh man, a long run. DLC in this game is good though. 2 really good boss fights, cool environments, some badass spells. See, there is a little hole. Swap this back to my primary ring. Characters in Dark Souls, man, always getting in trouble touching stuff. and welcome to the Sanctuary Garden. This area starts off immediately with a boss fight, and here in the Sanctuary Garden, we're gonna fight the Sanctuary Guardian. Now, this thing is pretty annoying. It's weak to bleed, it's resistant to lightning and magic attacks. Some main things it's going to do are he'll have this frontal charge and a dive type thing. He can do multiple lightning blasts that you can sidestep. A big lightning blast which you can either roll through or block. His tail swipe can poison you. I would just suggest healing through it. When he does his like wind blast thing at you, do a side roll to avoid it, and that's about it. Now the hardest part of this boss fight, very similar to Seath, you can cut off his tail to get a weapon, but it's actually quite difficult. The only real time that you're going to have a window to cut off his tail is going to be after he does that frontal charge attack or when he does a dive. And right after that attack, it'll be hanging low for just a moment. So, I'll kind of, you'll see me, I'll go for it a little bit, then I'll probably just give up because, you know, it's a pain. So right there, that's a window. Actually, I'm trying to remember, I think you can block the wind attack, and then that'll cause him to charge and go for the tail. Let me try that. Charge. Come on, man. Just give me a clean window. I want one clean window to hit your stupid tail. You can see, you'll do a lot of damage to this guy, so it's kind of easy to kill him without getting his tail. Very similar to Priscilla. Oh, God. Yeah, honestly, I'm probably not going to get the tail with this weapon, at least. This guy just, there's not really a lot of windows to pull it off. But as you can see, I mean, the fight itself isn't that hard. A majority of damage I've taken so far is from being poisoned. That's enough of you. Anyway, the tail is a poison whip. It's not that good. If you don't get it right now, you have some chances to get it later. Nope, not gonna get that tail. Stop that. That was a big last hit. So you get the Guardian Soul from him, which oddly enough you can't actually do anything with it. So just feel free to eat it. 12,000 souls. 30,000 from killing him. And that's the fight. So yeah, anyway, from here, we're gonna go to, where's it at? There's a structure right here. Yes. Aim out of the hole, we want to go towards the one that actually has structure on it. And welcome to Ulasil Sanctuary. Now you're going to want to kindle this bonfire for sure, at least to +10. Honestly, +15 isn't a bad idea. You're going to be using this for the majority of this area, so we'll make it +15, make this easier. Hang on, forgot to heal. Spend my souls. So, we got Elizabeth over here. She's a nice mushroom lady. Go and talk to her.
From what faraway age hast thou come, but not intolerable? Ah, Princess Dusk's savior. Thine aura is precisely as she described. I thank thee deeply for rescuing Her Highness, but Princess Dusk is here no longer, snatched away by that horrifying primeval human. And so I must ask, couldst thou once more play the savior?
I got you, lady.
Thank you. I am Elizabeth, guardian of this sanctuary. Something of a godmother to Princess Dusk. I shall assist thee to my utmost.
So, repair powder, gold pine resin, same Ulusil stuff, dust sold, ivory catalyst.
May the flames guide.
Yes, may they guide me. So there's a humanity off to the right. It's kind of tucked away behind all this stuff. And then we're going to run towards these little lantern flowers, and that's it for Ulusil Sanctuary. I mean, this area kicks off fast, you know, boom, zone, and we're entering the Royal Wood already. So, as soon as we cross the bridge, we're going to kill the 2 scarecrows that are coming in from the right. Hear them up top. Now we're going to stick to the right, and we're going to run straight ahead, and there will be a tower there. So there is a set in this DLC called the Guardian set. It kind of looks like the stone armor, but just a little bit, beefier, kind of a different color scheme. And you can get the pieces throughout this area, but they're kind of scattered all over the place. This is also going to be a shortcut for later. You can see the big hole right there. Obviously, don't go in that for now. Guardian gauntlets. Alright, so looking back from the tower, you can see a scarecrow, and there's another guardian. They're just like the Stone Knights, except fucking mean. These guys hit very hard. Probably the most dangerous thing about them is they have this 2-pronged attack on the hammer. I'm going to see if I can bait him to do it. Do the hammer attack. I want to show it to everybody. Do the fucking attack. Here, watch. Yeah. So, the thing I'm trying to warn you about here is, you'll think you dodged, and then he'll do that follow-up thing where he yanks it from the ground, and it's a massive AoE. And it can really fuck you up if you're not careful, so just be aware of that. But anyway, there are a bunch of guys just kind of around here. There's no loot, so we're going to avoid them for the most part. Instead, using this tower as our reference point, we're going to leave. And you can see we have this big chasm here. We're just going to run along and just keep the big chasm on your right for now. There's a lot of things that look like loot. That's actually some loot up there. But you have these flowers all over and they're glowing. They look like loot, but they're not actually loot. So anyway. Let's see. When you reach the field of orange flowers right here, we're going to drop down and run straight with the flowers. And on our left is going to be a pair of guardian leggings. And you can see that off in the distance. Thank you for that, my friend. See, some things are coming for us, but for the most part, we're good. From here, we're going to head to the right and cross the bridge. This is Calamite. He's nice. Hey, buddy. We're going to visit him later, rest assured. Fun boss fight. Just past the bridge, we should see a lizard. I think I may have... Hang on a second. I think we missed that lizard. Just past the bridge, you'll see a lizard. Kill it before it leaps. Yeah. Oh, maybe. Yeah, no, we missed the lizard. Anyway, there's a lizard that spawns right there. Nope, there it is. Come here, you little shit. Got it. Sneaky bastard almost got away. Alright, from here we're going to head into the forest area that's straight ahead, and we're going to kill some scarecrows. So drop on down. Now that guy. see the loot off in the distance there. That's basically what we're making our way towards right now. See, they actually don't like you because they're just here doing some landscaping. You show up taking all the loot and shit, and they're like, who the fuck is this guy? Just goes to show you, we're actually the bad guys in Dark Souls. Coin. Flip around, and then we're going to go up this incline to fight 2 more scarecrows, and then snag a soul item. Oh, how did you make it all the way over here? It's cute. Hey! Well, that's what you get for ignoring people. Shouldn't ignore people. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Up this way to grab the soul item. And we're going to turn 180. We'll run all the way over to this wall. Look left. And you can see a piece of treasure. Tucked away in the corner. Oh, it's not that. Elizabeth's mushroom. Special piece of Elizabeth she took off for you to have as a snack later. Kinda sexy, right? Anyway, wait for this guy to come up. Oh, a little too soon on that. Go. We're gonna leave this, and we are going to make right around. We're gonna grab that next. Now you gotta jump this little gap here, so just be ready. And there's another piece. It's our helmet. Now we're gonna drop down, curve this way, and we're gonna keep running. Just keep the kind of horizon on our right-hand side here. And off in the distance right there, that ledge, that's the Guardian armor. We're gonna be making our way for that. First, I'm gonna make a, let me see, off in the distance is the Guardian armor. Make a quick right for Go's Great Arrows. Go's Great Arrows are around here. Oh no, never mind. Those are Go's Great Arrows, I believe. And the Guardian armor should be next to that. Either way, we gotta go over there and get it, so. Yep, there's Go's Great Arrows. Alright, drop down and keep running off in the distance by a ledge is the Guardian armor. Make a quick right for Go's Greater. It's the initial boost bridge drop down. This time off to the right. Let's see, go this way. Guardian armor. Okay. So here we go. Here's our drop down from before. So before we went straight. This time we're just going to take this kind of right slope. We're going to stop up top at the edge and look left. See a soul item. When we proceed forward, there's going to be a lizard as well as these scarecrows. Some stone knights, so just be ready. A bunch of stuff coming our way. Big thing is the lizard is kind of like a bait, you know. It's supposed to lure you in and then get you. See the lizard, so. Of course he's already running. No, you little shit. No! Ah, damn it. Well, I'm not going to bother reloading. You guys can reload and get them. I gotta handle these things first. Takes so long to recover from that jump in R2. Alright, let's see. Going to make a right around this tower for a soul item. Hang on. Wrong. Go around the right of the tower for a soul item. Let's see. Merging. I'm gonna go inside and take this down. So here we go. Right, after merging, take a right for another soul item. This path is going to take us down to the dragon, but we can't fight it yet, so don't bother for the time being. Instead, on over this way. Talk to Chester. Mr. Bloodborne over here.
Let me guess. Snatched by a shadowy limb and dragged off to the past? Yes, of course. Exactly what happened to me. We are both strangers in this strange land. But at least now there are two of us.
So anyway, you can buy a bunch of stuff from him. Pretty chill dude.
So long.
This goes to show you how far back they actually had Bloodborne in mind. So after talking to Chester, run over here, hit this. And here's that shortcut from earlier. So, moving forward from here, it is time for Knight Artorias. Now, Artorias is very much a get-good type boss, similar to Ornstein and Smo. He is immune to poison, toxic, bleed, and curse. In addition to that, he is resistant to fire, magic, and lightning. You know, there's just no easy way to look at this boss fight. He's very aggressive. He does a lot of flips and spins in his moves. A high stability shield is going to be your best friend here. In all my battles against Artorias, I found that having a great shield was one of the easiest approaches to take. On top of that, just using a shield, you can really just kind of observe him for a minute or so and get an idea of his moveset. Circling around to your left is going to be the safest. We're going to want to be doing a rolling backward doing some stuff. Block his spin to win, side roll just about everything else. You can stagger him during his Abyss buildup. Otherwise, if he gets it off, there's a short-range AoE explosion, and he's going to enter kind of like an Abyss mode, or an Enrage, if you will. It'll just make him more aggressive and harder hitting. But other than that, you know, transverse that white light, and it's time to get good, y'all. Artorias was very heavily inspired by Guts from Berserk. In this whole fight, he's basically kind of Berserk. You'll notice he fights with the one arm that's messed up. There's a spin to win. Oh, good hit. Now this fight is one of those ones where you don't just want to be like, I'm low, and start healing. Very much wait until after he does an attack. Make sure you got a safety window before you're going to heal. He does that little muck throw, but that doesn't do that much damage. This is the Abyss buildup. I'm going to try and stop. Yeah, there we go. Managed to get enough damage in to stop his buildup. You can also stagger him, as you saw there. I staggered him very briefly. Bunch of damage on the thrust. I think I got a window. Nope. Exactly what I'm talking about. Thought I had a window, did not have a window. Now, I know I made that look really easy, but trust me when I say Artorias is not usually that easy. Now, the soul of Artorias, this is the first soul we've gotten in a while we can actually do something with. You can use that to craft the Abyss Greatsword, which is what he was using. It's basically like a more abyssified version of the Artorias Greatsword. It does come with that same unique moveset you just saw. Alternatively, a couple things we can do with it. We're going to come up here and get this bonfire first. There's a few areas that I'm going to point out immediately before we wrap up this episode. So we're going to get that up. Man, we knocked out a lot of the DLC in one part. That was fast. Alright, so with Artorias taken out, right here I can't do this because well, actually, can I go through? Nice, even though I'm in offline play, I can. This is the Battle of Stoicism gazebo. It is a PvP type area. You can do deathmatch, team battles, or dual battles. So, you know, you PvP ruins, or PvP fans, this is where, you know, aside from invasions and whatnot, it's just structured PvP. The other area right here is going to lead up to Go. Don't go up there yet. We need a key before we can get to him, so there's no point. However, going back in, did it reset this world state yet? Not yet. Alright. So what I need to do is warp and then warp back. And every bonfire in this DLC is warpable, so... Actually, we'll just warp to Firelink and then start off the next episode with what I'm about to discuss, because we're about to go all the way through Ulysses Township, so... either way, wrap this one up here. We're going to knock out all of Ulysses Township in the next episode, and then we'll probably have a third one. Actually, I'm imagining we'll probably have 3 more for the DLC, because we got Ulysses, we got the Calamite battle, and then we got Chasm of the Abyss. But either way, stay tuned, and we'll catch you guys with the next part. What is happening, guys? Cowboy here. Welcome back to the walkthrough, and we're ready to continue the DLC. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, man. Sanctuary Guardian, Ulysses Sanctuary, Ulysses Township. Gotta love all the travel. Anyway, head back over to Ulysses Township. Remember, you gotta warp to Firelink and then warp back. You don't have to do Firelink necessarily, but you gotta warp somewhere. You can't just use the bonfire to reset the world state to this level. And back here where we fought Artorias, we have Siran.
You... Is that not the soul of the man who fell on this spot? He was a dear friend. I wish to pay proper respect with that soul. Would you be willing to part with it?
Now, if you want to be a nice guy, tell her yes. I tell her no.
Yes, of course. I must not be presumptuous.
You must not.
Artorias would not have approved.
Would not have. I earned that soul. Now, if you do give her the soul, she will give you some weapons. Alternatively, you can tell her no, and then just kill her ass.
You humans, always taking what you please. And I shall do the same.
You ain't gonna take shit, lady. Come on, do it. Do it. Do it. Come here. Yeah!
How?
Because you punk.
You humans, my dear.
Anyway, that will give us access to the Dark Silver Gold Tracer, as well as her armor set. Ballin'! So if you traded her the soul, the only thing you would have gotten is the, you would have gotten the weapons, which they are very, very nice weapons for a Tex build. They go through shields, and the Dark Tracer in particular has a very high critical modifier. But there's actually 4 Knights of Gwyn. That Knight Artorias, that was the Lord's Blade. I think her name is like Siran or Siren, I don't know how to pronounce it. Dragon Slayer, Ornstein, of course, and the final one, I'll be meeting up there in a bit. But for now, at least, we're going to be heading on this way. So, we're going to head down the steps, and we'll encounter our first bloathead. These guys are fun. See if I can kill him with one-handed. We're gonna kill him, head down, get the soul item on the roof. Wait for these ones to come after us. It is worth being cautious around these guys. They can very quickly, like, surround you and bum rush you, basically. Kind of hard. Anyway, we got 4 more that are visible ahead. Take these ones, or take these 2 out after killing the first 2. Oh, there we go. Swinging around this big hunk of steel. It's kind of hard. Alright, from here we go down this way. Ignore this for now, it's a shortcut for later. We're going to go down these stairs and we'll encounter our first bloathead caster moment here. Secondly, kill the 4 that are visible, head down for 2 more. Okay, there we go. This is where we'll encounter the caster. Now these casters, they're fucking painful. Honestly, just rush and kill them before they even get a chance to cast. If they get off a cast, it's going to chunk you. Like, you're gonna need an Estus if one of them hits you. Soul item up ahead, there's a bloat head. Trying to guard it. Pop him off. Alright, now, instead of going down this way, I'm going to follow this path around until we drop down. See, there's another another bloat head right over there. Let's keep going. Alright, let's see, keep going, keep going. Down. Don't cross this little bridge for now, instead go around. Then, just in the message, let there be light. But we need some kind of way, damn it, fucking message is getting in my way. Some kind of way to produce light. You can use the same stuff that I suggested using down below. Either sunlight maggot, the lantern will work. Cast light, if you're a mage, will also work. But do that. Want the child mask? I always use the child mask. Love the stamina from it, but I've been Boar Man for too long, I think. I feel like I end up using the child mask on like every playthrough I do. Let me go back to the boar mask. I'm gonna stay true to my boary roots. Anyway, open that up, pop this baby on up, and we have the silver pendant. Now this thing is fucking legit. Put it on. And what the silver pendant does is it's basically a spell shield to negate out any dark magic you're getting hit with. While that is up, dark spells will just bounce off of you, which is super fucking awesome. Anyway, after here, we're going to proceed across the bridge. There will be a caster as soon as we get in, so this is actually a good time to test out the pendant and kind of the timing for it. Get an idea against them. You don't want to just sit here all day and let it hit you, but nothing else, it gives you an idea of like, oh, okay, that's when I'd want to use my pendant. And the big thing is we're going to want that later for when we fight Manus, because Manus is going to do a bunch of bullshit. And you can get all of the spells that you're seeing here as well, so if you are a sorcerer, man, you're in luck, because dark magic in the original Dark Souls was fucking beefy. Anyway, kill those. Pop this bad boy open. Dark orb. Let's see, 2 casters in dark orb. Up 1 staircase and make a right. Gonna go outside and get the I'm sorry carving. Now, the I'm sorry stuff is really fun. If you've never messed around with carvings, these are especially just fun to have if you're doing co-op, or if you kill somebody, you can just be like,
I'm sorry.
And just keep spamming it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It really tends to rub the salt in someone's wound if you kill them, and then you spam that after the fact. Let's see, I'm sorry carving. We're gonna go back in and go up the wooden stairs. I'm trying to remember what was over here. I don't think there's anything outside here. Yeah, this is just the dead end. Back in. Let's see whatever. Back in and up the wooden stairs, then outside for a bloathead and cross the... For a bloathead, then cross the bridge for a soul item. Already did that. Oh, up one staircase. Wait, hang on a second. Go up one staircase, make a right. Go outside for the I'm sorry carving. Back in, up the wooden stairs, then outside for a bloathead. Oh, that was the bloathead that ran over to us already. And cross the bridge for a soul item, drop down to where you got the pendant, and jump to the blue roof. Go up to that bridge. Hang on, I'm getting disoriented here. This is what I was looking for. And we had the bloathead that already attacked us. So that we go over here. Soul item. Yep, now we drop down to where we got the pendant and go across the blue roof. Okay. Alright, roll down to here, go up, and we're going to kill a mimic next. This gets you the very good carving. Same thing, it just goes very good. Another fun one you'll hear spammed all the time in PvP. Cross the bridge for a soul, drop down where you got the ring and pendant. Oh, where we drop down there is a lizard as well. I made a note that you can quit and reload for a lizard while you're on that blue roof before you move on. So we killed the mimic. If you go up there, that's where we came from, where I said ignore these stairs and we're going to cut around. But that's like the quick route. Anyway, from here, let's see. Rolling through my notes. Let's see. I'm going to head back down for 2 bloatheads and another caster. Nice dodge. Let's see the caster. Grossly wasting my Estus, but it doesn't really matter. Into the next room for 3 more bloatheads and some rubbish. Thanks for that, buddy. There he is. Alright, so this next area, we got some enemies up above, we got some down below. What you're going to want to do is have a bow or magic or something and just hit some stuff to kind of pull it apart, if you will. I like hitting this one early, just to get him kind of out of there. Up a little bit higher here. There we go. Just hitting him once is enough. He's going to come and make his way over to us. Similar fashion, I'm going to hit these ones. You know, the big thing here is you just don't want to get, you know, you don't want to get surrounded by these guys as you go down below. So just pinging them with a couple arrows, making him come to you, it makes this whole thing a lot easier. Come on. Guess you want to just die to arrows. We can arrange that. Ones as well. Should pull as a pair. Nope. No, it's buddy too. See, this is why just having a bow, even if you're not using it a bunch, it can make things so much easier. So it's kind of tricky to like roll off this. You need to do like a jump corner roll thing. So instead, just round the corner, pillar, and murder that one. Okay, once we reach the bottom of the stairs, we're going to go left, get the soul item that's outside. Then we are going to snipe the hanging corpse for Dark Fog. You can see that right there. See the caster up there as well. Let's see. Go towards the stairs, but make a left for a different set of stairs. Oh, these. Let me see. Take this all the way up, and when you reach a dead end, we're going to use the light trick again to reveal a wall. That will happen in this room. Kind of hear how it's like boom. It's a good indicator that you're in the right spot. Oh, open that up. Get your red titanite chunk. We're gonna go back and we're gonna roll on the floor over to the right. So this is bad. There was the guy up here, we killed him earlier. This is another mimic. Get the crest key, and that's what we needed to access Go. So, let's see. Mimic for the crest key. We have a bloat around the corner, and then we're going to go straight through the arch. And if you did not knock out the thing, well, so alright, if I drop down here, you can use this over here to basically get that corpse that was, or no, hang on, wait a minute. I'm getting confused. No, this is the separate ladder, never mind. Shouldn't have dropped, should not have dropped. This is where we just were. Get my ladders mixed up here. Ladders and drops. Alright, let's see. Grab the red chunk. Bloater run straight through the arch. Ignore the ladder down unless you didn't snipe the corpse. Yes. Except, actually, no, we didn't grab that item, so we are going to go down. I forgot to. Actually, no. You know what? I didn't kill you yet. Get rid of you, and we'll come in to where that guy's at in just a second. Grab the deep green titanite shard. And roll back in and get Dark Fog in just a moment. Where am I going? This way. Down. And here it is. In humanities. Up again. Again. Kill the final bloater that's still alive. Grab Dark Fog. Alright, and then we're gonna go forward and make a right for a shortcut back to the bonfire. Alright. So, not too bad, right? That is the majority of that area. I guess I could take you to... You know what? Actually, we're gonna, hang on, we got that bonfire. We're gonna keep going until we reach the Chasm of the Abyss bonfire, just because that'll make a little bit more sense, in my opinion. So, let's take this back down for now. Somewhat of a long path. A bunch of different bloat heads are gonna be on this path. Similar to before. Snipe to pull them out. There are bloat heads that are like kind of waiting and hidden. To the left and to the right, so it's good to... The idea is they want you to go down this path and basically get ambushed by them. make things a little bit easier, just snipe out the casters. If you keep hitting them, they can't actually get off the cast, as you'll notice. I'm giggling. And if you ever notice like an inconsistency in the damage of your shots, it's because the farther an arrow has to go, there's basically a damage modifier taken into effect. So if a shot is too far, you either need a different bow, or you're just going to see a massive damage drop off. Which of course isn't a concern if you're using poison arrows. Alright. Let me see. In front, sniping the one closest will make 2 come out and ambush you. Kill them, then snipe the 3 in the back. Next is Corrupted Crestfallen Bro. I always feel like there's supposed to be an item here. I feel like I missed something in my notes, but there is no item here. So anyway, this is... I call him Corrupted Crestfallen Bro because he kind of looks like the Crestfallen. If you like look at the armor that is on underneath all this amalgamation of stuff, like he looks like he has the Crestfallen dude's pants on. See, it's like he kind of has that like kind of shiny sheen. Actually, no. In the remaster, he doesn't look like Crestfallen at all. Look completely different. You really do just look like a weird blob. Anyway, just kill the blob. It's not a giant threat. They're gauntlets. Well, anyway, we're gonna go on down here. Hit an elevator. The elevator will bring up an ambush, so just top up. Cut him up. Take the elevator on down. And welcome to the bonfire. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the Chasm of the Abyss. So we're gonna wrap things up here. From this point, I'm actually going to warp on back to the Ulasil Sanctuary, since that's the one that I put up to plus 15.
Are we alone in the universe? It's a question we've been asking ever since we figured out that there may be other worlds besides this one. The famous Drake equation tries to estimate the number of technological civilizations currently existing in our galaxy. It gives that number as a combination of astrophysical, biological, and sociological factors, each of which narrows the range of stars in our galaxy that may have produced a surviving civilization. These factors include the rate of star formation in the Milky Way, the number of planets per star that could support life, the fraction of life-bearing planets that produce intelligent civilizations, and of those the fraction that develop technology that we might detect. And finally, you need to factor in the average lifetime of the typical advanced civilization. When Frank Drake formulated his equation in the early 60s, most of the factors going into it were hopelessly unconstrained. Drake's original calculations gave a range from 20 and 50 million current technological civilizations in the Milky Way, although he felt there were probably at least 1,000. Still, that is a huge range. At the low end, we're unlikely to ever see one, assuming they don't come to us. And at the high end, there should be civilizations within 100 light years, which may have detected our own radio transmissions by now. In the last 50 years, we've learned a lot more about some of Drake's factors. There's some progress with the biological factors as we push the fossil record back closer and closer to the formation of the Earth, and we see just how quickly life arose here. We also have a slightly better understanding of abiogenesis, the initial evolution of life, and perhaps even the subsequent evolution of intelligence, although these are still a long way off giving us hard numbers. The sociological factors, and in particular the average lifespan of a technological civilization, are still the subject of wild guesswork. The area where we've made the most progress is in the astrophysical factors. We now have a very good idea of how many planets there are in the Milky Way that could potentially support life. The Kepler mission allowed us to estimate that our galaxy boasts something like 40 billion terrestrial planets in the Goldilocks zone of their parent star. So, 40 billion rocky worlds capable of supporting liquid water, which may be an essential ingredient for life. We call these habitable planets, although we have no idea how many are inhabited. Around 11 billion of those are Earth-like planets around Sun-like stars. With such a tight constraint on the astrophysics, but with the other factors being pretty hopeless, some researchers have decided to reframe the Drake equation. Astrophysicists Adam Frank and Woodruff Sullivan asked a different question. Instead of figuring out the number of technological civilizations still existing in the Milky Way, they asked the following. In the deeply pessimistic assumption that humanity is the only technological civilization in the entire known universe, what would that say about the biological and sociological factors in the Drake equation? In fact, they figured out for there to be only a 1% chance for one advanced civilization to have ever arisen in the history of the known universe, the chance for each habitable planet to produce such a civilization would need to be less than 2.5 by 10 to the power of minus 24. So less than a 1 in 400 billion trillion chance. That's so insanely small that we're forced to conclude that there must have been civilizations out there before. They also ran the numbers for the Milky Way. They got that in order for humans to be the only advanced civilization to have ever appeared in our galaxy, ever, then there would need to be only a 1 in 60 billion chance for any suitable planet producing something like us. That's still a very small number. If the true probability of producing civilizations is higher, then there have been and perhaps still are advanced species in our galaxy. Okay, so I have a challenge question for you. The best chance we have of finding other civilizations is if they're close. I want you to follow Frank and Sullivan's method, plus whatever other information you care to include, to answer this. If humanity is the only technological civilization to have arisen on any habitable planet within 100 light years, how low would that probability of technological emergence need to be? What does this tell you about how close our nearest neighbours might be? To answer this, you should take a look at Frank and Sullivan's paper, link below, and check out some of the other useful info I'll leave in the description. Let's also do an extra credit question. Answer the above, but also the following. Consider Tabby's star, an otherwise normal-looking F-type star 1500 light years away, which the Kepler mission revealed to be experiencing some weird dimming. Some people like to think this is evidence of some sort of alien megastructure eclipsing the star. Of course, it's almost certainly not, but just say it was. If we now say that those guys are the one advanced Dyson swarm-building civilization in the entire Kepler sample, how close to us is the nearest such civilization not in that sample? What does your answer say about the likelihood of Tabby's star hosting such a civilization? Submit your answers with full work to pbsspacetime@gmail.com within 2 weeks of release of this video for a chance to win a Spacetime t-shirt. Make sure you use the subject line Galactic Civilization Challenge to be in the running, because we filter by subject line. See you next week for a new episode of Spacetime.